From Germany, the story of a woman and her expanding family, as told by CBS's Frank Sedapani.
Annegret Raunick is no stranger to the delivery room. Before giving birth last week to 3 boys and a girl, Raunick, who's 65, already had 13 children by 5 different fathers. The quadruplets were born prematurely by C-section and are still in intensive care in a Berlin hospital, but doctors say they've started to gain weight. Raunick had to travel to another country to have donated fertilized eggs implanted. The procedure is illegal in Germany. She's believed to be the oldest woman ever to deliver quadruplets. Frank Sedapani, CBS News.
Penn State has suspended a campus fraternity for 3 years. Kappa Delta Rho was linked to a Facebook page that displayed nude photos of women. The school says frat members engaged in a pattern of harassment and humiliation of women. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
If you or someone you know is addicted to drugs or alcohol, this could be the most important message of your life. Write down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call 1-800-452-1653. That's 1-800-452-1653. By calling the treatment helpline for drug and alcohol addiction, you can turn your life around. Our advisors will match you with a proven 5-star luxury treatment center that will end your drug or alcohol addiction once and for all. Your future can still be right. When you call right now, you'll speak to someone who understands what you're going through. Let us help you break your addiction to drugs and alcohol before it's too late. This call is completely confidential, and if you have private insurance, there should be no cost to you. Take 5 minutes of your time and call right now. It may change your life for the better. Call 1-800-452-1653. That's 1-800-452-1653. Call 1-800-452-1653.
When it comes to automobile service in Hampton Roads, Fink's Car Care is the destination locals have counted on for decades. Family owned and operated, they specialize in transmission service, oil changes, state inspection, radiator service, tires, alignments, and showcase Win automotive products. Fink's does it all. Military and senior discounts are available. Find them on Facebook and visit them on South Military Highway in Chesapeake and Victory Boulevard in Portsmouth, Monday through Saturday. For more, log on to finkscarcare.com and call 545-3573 today.
The place in Newport News for traditional home-style Mexican food is Chucho's in Oyster Point. Chucho's has sizzling fajitas, burritos, seafood dishes, and the best tacos on the East Coast, as well as fabulous margaritas. All of your Mexican favorites, a dining destination. Call 873-0486 and go to 605 Pilot House Drive in Newport News for a delicious lunch and dinner 7 days a week. Explore the flavor of Chucho's today.
Chesapeake, Virginia, 1650 AM WHKT presents Sports Scene. Sports Scene features local, regional, and nationally acclaimed guests and excellent interviews. Follow Sports Scene on Twitter at Greg Bick and at GJBTV.com. Now here is Greg Bicouvaris.
And thank you very much, Ken Johnson. Ken, I want to tell you, first of all, thank you so much for what you do on Twitter. It really is a service to a lot of your friends and colleagues in the business. So for all of them, since I work with you every week, I want to say thank you on the air.
You talking about Mr. Friday?
Yes, Mr. Friday does a lot of tweets. That's it. All right, this is Sports Scene presented by GJBTV.com every Wednesday, noon to 1. Don't forget sports highlights on NNPSTV.com, where the city manager of Newport News is featured on the homepage. That's NNPSTV.com. Sports Scene, how do you hear it? Every Wednesday on 1650 a.m., also on your computer or on your phone via TuneIn.com. Type in WHKT. You can subscribe to Sports Scene right now for free on TuneIn.com. Simply type in WHKT and go to GJBTV.com. Hit the YouTube link for archive shows. This is your home for CBS News, as Ken Johnson well knows. Tell your friends about 1650 on Twitter. You can find me on 4 different handles on GJBTV.com. Go to Greg Bick, Sports Highlight, GJBTV, HROnlineMall.com. Thank you to our military, not just on Memorial Day, but every single day, and hope everybody had an exciting extended nice holiday. And guess what? It's hump day now. It's Wednesday. The week is moving on. And one more day till the Newport News Greek Festival, May 28th to May 31st. It was nice to be interviewed by Vanessa Correa yesterday on Channel 13. Really enjoyed that. She did a really good job with that as well. Our guest lineup presented by Hampton Roads Online Mall.com. Browse, shop, visit on Hampton Roads Online Mall.com. Over 50 businesses. You simply click the image. It takes you to their website without having to type, Google, search, or spell. Phone line presented by Hilton Tavern and Newport News. I want to thank our sponsors this month in May: Chucho's, Newport News Greek Festival, Hilton Tavern, Newcastle, Finks, Friendly Mover, Spaghetti Eddie's, Crawl Space Door, Soprano in Newport News, India Palace, and June 1st, Rita's Italian Ice in Newport News starts right here. Ken, what do you think about David Letterman's farewell and also his future? What are your thoughts? That was kind of an emotional week last week.
Well, I didn't get to see it. I don't get to watch a lot of television, so I missed that farewell thing. I'm told it was done very well, that he went out the right way, and didn't hear any negatives about it. I think he's kind of run his course. There was a time when he was edgy and cutting edge. Mm-hmm. I think the wind kind of went out of his sails a few years ago, and he's still doing okay, but he wasn't the same Letterman that he was earlier. So I think it was time for him to go. And what he'll do in the future, I don't know. I suspect, considering the private person he is, he'll probably pull a Carson.
Yeah, I saw him in the Indy 500, though, on ABC this past weekend. So glad he made a public appearance. He really likes that type of racing. Don't forget MiCasitaMexican.com in Virginia Beach with 2 locations, great Mexican food, and BlueSushiCafe.com up in Denby and Newport News. Go by and see Chris, as well as Buffalo Wild Wings, great place for delicious wings 7 days a week with great Hampton Roads locations. Go to GJBTV.com. You'll see the Buffalo Wild Wings link, as well as Papa John's as well. So great guests right here, all presented by Hampton Roads Online Mall.com. My background on GJBTV.com. Glad you're with us during the lunch hour. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. All our great Twitter followers, listeners, prize winners right here. This is Greg Bicouvaris along with Ken Johnson, live on the radio at 12:11. Stay tuned. We'll be back after these messages. Mark your calendar for May 28th to May 31st. The Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church in Newport News presents the Newport News Greek Festival. Enjoy Greek food, desserts, beverages, dancing, entertainment, arts and crafts, and much more. This is the signature event of the year in Hampton Roads. The Greek Festival is located at 60 Traverse Road off exit 258B on Route 17 in Newport News. For more, log on to newportnewsgreekfestival.org.
Good Italian food, daily specials, and a place people enjoy is Spaghetti Eddie's. Indulge in your mouth-watering pizza, pasta, subs, salads, appetizers, and desserts. Open 7 days a week. Log on to SpaghettiEddiesPizzaCafe.com and visit them at Taylor Road and on Eden Way North in Chesapeake for lunch and dinner. Like them on Facebook. Italian food you can count on is at Spaghetti Eddie's. Now back to Greg Bicouvaris and Sports Scene in the Hampton Roads Online Mall.com studio.
But first, let me take a selfie.
All right, back live right here on the radio this beautiful Wednesday, May 27th, day before the Newport News Greek Festival. For more, go to newportnewsgreekfestival.org. Of course, congratulations to the Cleveland Cavaliers for going to the championship. We'll find out who they'll be playing here very soon. NHL playoffs going on, Major League Baseball, but of course, a lot of good college softball, college baseball, and we are proud to have a lot of great athletes from this area. One, speaking of which, I saw her play a couple of years ago in an ESPN U matchup. Maggie Tyler from Poquoson. She's a pitcher for Virginia Tech softball team. Maggie, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Good to talk to you again, my friend, besides Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah, good to talk to you, too.
Very good, very good. Let's talk about the softball season. Boy, it started way back against Maryland in February, but of course you guys made the NCAA tournament again and wrapped up your season. Talk about the entire season.
Oh, I think that overall we had a pretty good season. We started off really well. We had some pretty tough tournaments at the beginning. We got to go to Hawaii for our spring break, which was a great trip. We ended up going 5-0 while we were out there, playing some tough teams. Came back and had to take on a really tough ACC, ACC schedule. But I think that we did pretty well. We started to hit a little lull at the end of the season, but because of how much success we had at the beginning, we made the top 25 a couple weeks in. I think that definitely propelled us into the NCAA tournament. We didn't do as well as we wanted to in the ACC tournament, and, we might have dropped a couple games at the end of the season, but overall I think that we had a pretty great season, and I'm looking forward to next year.
We're talking to Maggie Tyler, who's from Poquoson, who's a pitcher for Virginia Tech softball team who was showcased a lot on the ESPN family of networks, and that's really nice and special too, Maggie, because I know a lot of your family and friends like to see you when you pitch and everything, but to be showcased so much on national TV and also on ESPN3.com really gives you a nice platform as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think I'm pretty blessed because a lot of my family, and I'll always have someone at whatever tournament we go to, so I'm really lucky to get to spend time with them. But I love when I'm able to come off after a game and I look back at my phone like an hour later and I get a bunch of texts from my friends at home saying, oh, we're watching you play and you're doing great and whatever, and I just think that's really awesome. And I'm really blessed for that opportunity to be able to play with such a great team on TV.
Let's talk about the highs and lows here. Of course, you started the season in the winter doing very well against Maryland. Goodness, how was it practicing and playing in those conditions? Of course, a lot of the teams you played were in South Carolina, Florida, and North Carolina, but even in Greenville, and it can be cold in February. Talk about playing in the winter. Then the contrast is going to Hawaii, where you really excelled.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think that's just the nature of the beast, is I'm playing softball at Virginia Tech, which is, it's pretty cold out here. But we got to go to Myrtle Beach for our first weekend, and then we went to Florida. But it was still pretty chilly. Like, we were all wearing Under Armour. We all brought our big jackets and stuff. It wasn't beautiful weather by any means, but you know what? That's just what happens when you're playing in February. And so we had a couple pretty cold weekends, and we played at home a couple times, and it was pretty cold. But then we had a great trip out to Hawaii where it was just literally we were playing in paradise. Like, it was beautiful weather. It was 80 degrees every day, hardly any humidity. It was perfect. You know what?
Yeah.
I think that could have been a good measure of our success, is that we were playing in such beautiful weather and we were enjoying the experience and, just having a great time with it, and not having to play in big puffy jackets and Under Armour.
Did you talk to some of the girls on the Hawaii team and just say you're kind of like a little jealous of them for being in that weather year round? Because did you, I know a lot of your teammates are very close and you enjoy your downtime and you go out to dinner and enjoy yourself. Talk about that.
Right. I mean, one thing that's funny is one of the girls in Hawaii is actually friends with one of my teammates. And I remember her saying, we have a good game, we go to the beach. We have a bad game, we go to the beach.
Yeah.
So, either way they get those perks. But playing out there, it was amazing. We had to play basically a game every day, but we got some downtime where we got to go to the beach and we got to go snorkeling and we went hiking a couple times. So we really just got to get a full-on experience, but also, keep our minds in the right place and focus on softball, because we were out there. It was a business trip. We had to get our stuff done, but also getting to enjoy ourselves and have a great time with our teammates.
And how tough was that? As soon as you play Hawaii, you go back and have to go to Radford after that.
Oh, yeah. See, I mean, that's just how it happened. It's just, I guess it's the nature of the beast. We were blessed to go somewhere beautiful for spring break, but then we got to come back to cold Virginia. And play at some point. So.
Exactly. Talking to Maggie Tyler, who won 15 games this past year. You pitched over 187 innings. Is that good or bad? And do you prefer starting, or do you like to do a little relief if you have to?
I mean, I love that. I feel like I kind of fit into the role I wanted to this year. I got a lot of innings, and I got a lot of opportunities to prove myself and to get the job done. And so I love starting. But also, we have a great staff of pitchers that could all get the job done. And for multiple times when I needed some help and they would come in and save me, and I don't mind playing that relief role either. And if they need help, they know that I have their backs just like they had mine. So, either way, I think I fit into the role that I really wanted to this year, and I got to pitch a lot of innings and get some really great experiences. And I'm looking forward to going into my senior season and just being able to capitalize on that.
Hard to believe. I saw you play your freshman year against Florida State and how time has just flown. Already 3 years have gone by. Talking to Maggie Tyler, who plays for Virginia Tech softball team. Of course, right now, Maggie, the NCAA tournament's going on. We'll get your thoughts on that in just a second. Talk about Scott Thomas, your head coach, what he means to Virginia Tech's program and the girls as well.
Coach Thomas has been around for a long time. This is actually his 20th year. So we kind of have a tradition here at Tech, and he's kind of built the program, and we've been doing it the same way he's been doing it the same way for the last 20 years. And I think that he's a great coach, and that just kind of that tradition and that, sense of family that we have within our team just kind of continues as we go.
Don't forget, folks, it's lunchtime. Order online at papajohns.com. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Introducing PayShare on papajohns.com as well. Well, you talk about some of the teams you played this year. There was no easy games at all, of course. You took on the likes of Notre Dame, of course, Virginia, NC State. Were there any certain games that stuck out, Syracuse, that you really remember?
I definitely remember playing Tennessee. And I think that's something in Florida State also. Both of those teams headed into deep postseason play. Tennessee is actually still going in the World Series right now. They're competing, for a national title. And then Florida State was in Super Regionals actually against Tennessee. And we played those teams all, really hard. We came up short against them. But, it was just a great experience getting to play against some of the best teams in college softball and, pitching to some of the best hitters in the game at this point, so that was awesome. And, Notre Dame was also a powerhouse. They hosted a regional. JMU had a great season this year. They got to host a regional. And all throughout the ACC, we had 7 teams from the ACC go to postseason NCAA tournament this year, which is like a record for previous ACC years. So it just kind of goes to show the strength of our conference and how it's growing and how it's getting better every year. And, just getting to play against some of those national powerhouses and get to pitch to some of those, great hitters and play against those teams, it was awesome.
Well, the team overall played over 50 games. How do you keep your arm fresh? Because you don't want to burn yourself out, of course, and talk about, how you keep your arm in shape.
Right. I mean, it's hard, it's wear and tear on a long season, but you just got to stay healthy. You got to stay on top of, keeping your workouts good and, doing rehab. I've had to do that a lot for my shoulder just because, it does get tired and it does wear and tear throughout the season. So just, staying on top of that kind of stuff, eating good, that kind of thing. And just, it's hard, and we get a little tired, but we got to pick up a second wind at some point, and just, you only get 4 years of this. So
enjoy
push through it and enjoy it.
Exactly. Before we talk about your off-season plans, let's talk about the NCAA tournament a little bit. What's left of the tournament itself, the World Series. As we're talking to Maggie Tyler, who's from Poquoson, live right here on Sports Scene at 12:21 on TuneIn.com. Type in WHKT to listen on your phone or your computer, or 1650 on the radio. You got to love that TuneIn app, don't you, Maggie? You can listen to anything in the world.
Awesome.
People can listen to your interview right now in Blacksburg, wherever, even in Hawaii, whatever. That's what's so good about it. Well, let's talk about the teams. You mentioned the ACC, but the SEC's done really well with Florida, Kentucky, Tennessee. There's so many good SEC teams left in this tournament.
Right, I know. I mean, the thing is when we have to play SEC games, it's a different, it's a different level of softball. They just turn it up a little bit. The fans are crazy, and I feel like it's the same way for football, maybe basketball, and the SEC. That they just get really into it, and they have a great programs out there. And I'm not surprised at all to see so many teams from the SEC make it to the World Series, because I feel like that's kind of the tradition that they've set. And you know what? I love the SEC teams. I wish there's no more ACC teams. If there were, I'd be rooting for them. But
sure,
you know what? I'll probably be rooting for the Tennessees and the Alabamas and stuff, because we've gotten to play them personally. And yeah, I think that's awesome.
Well, you can kick back and watch some of the NCAA tournament now, and you hear the commentators. Do you agree with most of them, or what are your assessments when you're not as involved? Obviously, you're not in the tournament anymore. Talk about your thoughts when you're watching a telecast.
I mean, it's definitely mixed emotions.
Sure.
A little bit bitter because I wish I was there. But then again, I love the sport, so I love watching it, and it's the best. It's one of the best sports to watch on TV. It's so fast paced. It's never boring. And so I'll spend all day watching softball, especially during the World Series and during these later tournaments. But like I said, it's a little bitter because I wish I was there, but I'm still learning a lot and enjoying it while watching and taking it all in.
Yeah, what's up with your last few games were against Utah and Longwood of all teams, huh?
Yeah, they just came out and they had a great game. They wanted to be there, and some stuff just didn't go our way. And every team that's in the NCAA tournament, deserves to be there, and I think that kind of proves it. There's no one you can just sit back and expect to beat. And maybe that could have happened to get with us against them. You know, we kind of expected to get a win, but you know what? Hey, that's how it happens sometimes. It just shows that every team there, you know, has earned their right to get there.
Yeah, talking final few moments with Maggie Tyler right here on Sports Scene. Greg Bicouvaris, glad you're with us live every Wednesday from 12 to 1. So what are your predictions? Who do you think of the remaining teams has a chance to win it all this year?
Oh, man. I mean, you just look across the board. Everyone is a big offensive power. So every team out there is known to score some runs and to, you know, knock some home runs and stuff. But I have to say, Michigan's really strong this year, and they're knocking a bunch of home runs, and they have a really strong pitching staff. But then you look at some SEC teams, like even Auburn and Alabama and Tennessee, all really great. But I guess if I had to pick one, I would say Michigan.
Very good. Talking to Maggie Tyler right here. All right. I remember a while back, ESPN did some games on the family of networks when the Roadsters were here at War Memorial Stadium in the late 90s. What are your thoughts about the future for these girls? Is it for professional softball to get paid? Is there an opportunity to make a living doing this when you graduate, or are you already thinking about a job? What are your thoughts about your future?
I'm not really sure what I'm, going to do after college softball's over. I mean, I don't really know if the NPF will be an option for me. I'm kind of just looking to look right into the workforce. But you know what? Then again, I'm just taking it, month by month. I still got another season, so I'm trying not to look too far ahead to, when it's all over. But I mean, I'd love if you look at the channel listings now or in the past couple of weeks, there's softball all over TV. I think that shows a lot for the sport, and that it's growing so much and people want to watch it, and that, it's just really growing. And I think that hopefully the NPF and, professional softball will just follow the same track and, just continue to grow, because it is such a great sport and, it's so fun to watch that I hope that it continues to grow. And no matter what I do after college, even if it doesn't include playing or coaching, I still want to be involved in sports, and especially in softball. And
that's what I was alluding to earlier. That's what's so good about the ESPN family of networks, that they're showcasing these women's sports like softball, and also baseball is getting a lot of coverage. And it's good to see the spring sports getting the national TV exposure or online exposure on basketball.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree. Like I said, just the way that it's growing as a sport, so many people are watching it now, and just having it covered across so many broadcasts is just awesome. So it gives more opportunities, for people to watch and to learn about the sport, and to, hopefully just have it continue to grow.
What are your thoughts about softball around here now, the high school, the kids playing, and what you're hearing about Pocosin and all the different schools here in Hampton Roads about the future of recruiting for some of these girls? Anybody that that is standing out that's got a potential future like a Maggie Tyler does?
I'm not as tuned into, the Bay Rivers District and stuff as they should be, but I know that growing up, some of the big names that we played, Sydney Gay played at Smithfield, and I know she's going to Longwood next year, so I'll get to compete against her next year. I know some local rivalry there. And then I know there's a girl from Moorhill who is a pitcher, and she's actually committed to come to Tech also. So she's out in Williamsburg, but she'll be at Tech in a couple years. And so, I'm a little distanced from the high school scene now. I still try to keep up as much as I can, but from the recruiting aspect, I think we're getting some good 757 recruits will come out to play in college softball soon.
Very good. All right, Maggie, what are your plans for the summer? I know you do want to enjoy the summer a little bit here, so what are your plans?
Right. Well, actually, I'm enrolled in a couple summer classes. I'm living in Blacksburg right now. I'm taking a study abroad class in the Dominican Republic this upcoming class for 10 days, and we'll be down there actually learning about leadership and teaching a sports camp to kids in some impoverished areas of the Dominican Republic. So that's an opportunity I'm really looking forward to, to be able to give back and to learn about, cultures. I've never left the country before, so I'm looking forward to that. And then as soon as I get back from that, I'll continue taking some summer classes, and I start an internship at WSLS 10, which is a news station, a TV station out in Roanoke. And I'm going to be interning with them. And I'm really looking forward to that. I'm working with the journalists out there, and hopefully enjoy that experience. I'm a multimedia broadcasting major here at Tech, so I'm looking to work with sports broadcasting or to work for ESPN or something like that someday. So I'm really looking forward to those opportunities.
Well, you've got my number, and you know what I do as well. So we really appreciate staying in touch. And Ken, let's get a shout out to this young lady. She did very well during this interview and held herself. She's got a future in broadcasting.
Oh, absolutely. Just showing up is 90% of it sometimes.
Right.
You were here, and that's a big part of it. Yeah, you did fine. You did great.
Yeah. Hey, Maggie, let me ask you a question. What's your advice for young girls that want to pitch at the softball level, Division I, Division II, or Division III?
I mean, when I look back on my experience, it's something that just stood out was just never giving up. And it's hard, but like my mom had to push me to go to the field some days, had to drag me out there by my teeth to go pitch. But you know what? And she was just such a motivating factor for me to continue, the success. And it's not that I didn't love the sport, but when you're a young kid, there's a lot of other things on your plate, and there's a lot of other things that seem to take priority over, going to practice. But to stay focused and to, just not give up on something that you really want and just continue to train and work hard. I think that's like the big factor there. And just having such support around me, between my parents and my family and my friends, everyone just pushing for the success was really crucial for me. But, just staying focused and not giving up. Very
good, Maggie. We'll say hello to your parents. Anybody you want to say hello to real quick?
Just say hi to my mom and dad.
All right, very good. Very good. Oh, you be safe and you be careful, and we look forward to talking to you soon.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. All right, Maggie Tyler right there, pitcher for Virginia Tech softball team. What a delight, Ken. What a wonderful, delightful interview she was.
Oh, yeah, she did really good.
Absolutely. Just really enlightened us about the sport of softball. Ken Johnson, CBS News coming up, and, of course, 2 days after Memorial Day, hopefully the traffic's easing up a little bit.
Yeah, not too bad. We had some major incidents this morning, but right now everything's moving along just fine. No backups or delays anywhere. No bridge openings on the schedule. And other than the road work that's going on just about everywhere, it's that time of year where they're doing the pothole repairs and patching and cutting of grass. There shouldn't be any problems. Look out for southbound 464 right lane closures and shoulder closures right around South Main Street. Looks like they're mainly on the shoulder there. We will see some widely scattered showers of thunderstorms developing as we head into the afternoon. 86 scattered showers, thunderstorms tonight, a low of 70. For tomorrow, partly cloudy skies with, you know what? Scattered afternoon showers and thunderstorms, a high of 85 degrees. We'll see some sun, though, on Friday. CBS News is next. It's 12:31.
This news update. A corruption scandal has rocked the world's most popular sport, soccer.
The people who run the sport have been lining their pockets for years, and the chickens are coming home to roost.
Matthew Garahan of the Financial Times commenting on the charges against 14 executives of FIFA, soccer's governing body. Attorney General Loretta Lynch alleges 2 decades of bribery and corruption and the handling of broadcast rights.
All of these defendants abused the U.S. financial system and violated U.S. law, and we intend to hold them accountable.
Kelly Curry is the acting U.S. attorney in Brooklyn, New York.
A lot of these developing countries depend upon, for their youth development programs, grants from FIFA, and the bribe money takes money away from soccer fields and soccer balls for kids.
And Swiss authorities say they've opened a criminal investigation into the awarding of the 2018 and 2022 World Cups. CBS News Update. I'm Steve Kathan.
For over 25 years, people have counted on one name for all their residential and commercial moving needs. A friendly and affordable mover. No job is too big or too small, and they will assist you with your best interest in mind. Always providing free estimates, a friendly and affordable mover is a company you can count on. Have peace of mind on your next move with a friendly and affordable mover. Call 689-0935 or log on to lovemymover.com. Good Italian food, daily specials, and a place people enjoy is Spaghetti Eddie's. Indulge in your mouth-watering pizza, pasta, subs, salads, appetizers, and desserts. Open 7 days a week. Log on to SpaghettiEddiesPizzaCafe.com and visit them at Taylor Road and on Eden Way North in Chesapeake for lunch and dinner. Like them on Facebook. Italian food you can count on is at Spaghetti Eddie's. The place to go for U.S. rare coins is Newcastle Coins and Collectibles in Chesapeake. They specialize in U.S. and silver and gold coins and provide free verbal offers and are always buying U.S. rare coins. Newcastle Coins and Collectibles, 681 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake, across from Chesapeake General, open Tuesday through Saturday and always online at NewcastleCollectibles.com. Call 757-609-3633, 757-609-3633 for Newcastle Coins and Collectibles.
Nor'easter season is here, so don't get all wet. Protect your house. Call Crawl Space Door Systems at 363-0005. Reduce your flood insurance, reduce the threat of mold and insects, and save energy. Crawl Space Doors, air vents, flood vents, vent covers, and fans can help you stay dry or get you dry quickly. Contact Crawl Space Doors for more information at 363-0005 or online at crawlspacedores.com. Stay dry, my friends.
Now back to Greg Bicouvaris and Sports Scene in the Hampton Roads Online Mall.com studio. It's now time for Greg's Highlights presented by Hampton Roads Online Mall.com Marketplace pages.
And thank goodness for my fan right here, Ken. I just love my fan.
If you had a whole bunch of them, you'd have a fan club. Oh, grown. All right, Dickie Harrell, I stole that from you, brother.
Exactly. That's a good one, too, especially during the spring when it gets so hot. Can you imagine it's so hot right now in May? What's up with that?
Well, we started off last year, if memory serves, in the spring. It seemed like it was going to be a hot summer for about 2 or 3 weeks. It was in the 80s and 90s. And all of a sudden, boom, we had a summer where it was like 85 every day, and it was really nice. So maybe we're going to see that again.
I like fans. I like air conditioning in my car as well. All right, gjbtv.com. Hit the YouTube link, folks. Very simple. Big YouTube link for archive shows. Tell your friends. Shop on the marketplace sponsors of gjbtv.com, where you'll see Buffalo Wild Wings and Papa John's, just to name a few, the Hilton Garden Inn. Save the date every Wednesday live right here to Sports Scene on the radio, 1650 a.m. Also, tunein.com. Type in WHKT on your phone or your computer to subscribe for free, or just listen and subscribe if you want. Business Spotlight scenes coming up. What teased me off? Always a lot of fun. Sports highlights on nnpstv.com, gjbtv.com. I want to thank our first guest, Maggie Tyler, who's a rising senior on Virginia Tech softball team. A lot of Virginia Tech alumni. She made the NCAA tournament as well. Also, the NBA playoffs, the Cavs doing excellent. NHL playoffs, MLB, Orioles and Nationals playing a little bit better. We'll see how their season goes on as well. And, of course, the big news, last week, David Letterman retiring, but he definitely, after a great career at NBC and CBS, definitely deserves it. Stay tuned. We'll continue after these messages. Mark your calendar for May 28th to May 31st. The Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church in Newport News presents the Newport News Greek Festival. Enjoy Greek food, desserts, beverages, dancing, entertainment, arts and crafts, and much more. This is the signature event of the year in Hampton Roads. The Greek Festival is located at 60 Traverse Road off exit 258B on Route 17 in Newport News. For more, log on to newportnewsgreekfestival.org.
Spring is back, and so are the Norfolk Tides. Catch the fun and excitement as your Norfolk Tides take the field at beautiful Harbor Park. Bring your friends and family to root on the Orioles of tomorrow today. Log on to norfolktides.com for information on season tickets, groups, ticket discounts, and Tides merchandise. Follow the Tides on Twitter and Facebook for updates on promotions and player moves. Tides Baseball, minor leagues, major fun. The place in Newport News for traditional home-style Mexican food is Chucho's in Oyster Point. Chucho's has sizzling fajitas, burritos, seafood dishes, and the best tacos on the East Coast, as well as fabulous margaritas. All of your Mexican favorites, a dining destination. Call 873-0486 and go to 605 Pilot House Drive in Newport News for a delicious lunch and dinner 7 days a week. Explore the flavor of Chucho's today.
Hi, this is Greg Bicouvaris. Join me for Sports Scene each Wednesday from noon to 1 right here on News Talk 1650 WHKT. You can also hear the show on TuneIn as well. We will talk to local, regional, and nationally acclaimed sports guests, and we'll interact with our audience as well at Greg Bick on Twitter. Sports Scene, Wednesdays from noon to 1 right here on 1650 AM.
Now back to Greg Bicouvaris and Sports Scene in the Hampton Roads Online Mall.com studio.
I see you move, I'm checking your smile, working your back like it's going out of style.
All right, back live right here on the radio, folks. It always takes a village. Don't forget that no matter who you work with, their time, talent, treasure. Whether you work at a radio station, TV station, you're in sales, real estate, business, you own your own restaurant, whatever, it takes a village. You cannot do anything in this world by yourself. With that said, let's welcome on HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com, Marketplace 5, Paul Fuqua, former college basketball coach. His son's a very good baseball player, very involved in real estate. You might remember Paul, he did the Youth Education Sports Hour at the game when we used to work there as well, when Paul still, of course, did his real estate and gave back to the community. Paul, how are you, my friend?
I'm fine. Good to talk to you, Greg.
Very good on 1650 AM. Also, tunein.com. Type in WHKT on your phone or your computer. Let's talk about what have you been up to and talk about your nice website in real estate, first of all.
Our website reflects a little bit of what I specialize in, which is largely upscale properties and special properties, but at the same time, I enjoy dealing with anybody who has a house to sell or is looking to locate himself in a place where my expertise in the financial aspects of buying and reselling are paramount.
Go ahead and plug your website.
It's FuquaSellsHomes.com. It's easy to get to. It's nice and green, reflects the color of money and golf courses.
Very good, exactly. And of course, a nice spring day like this. You can also see it, folks, just by clicking it on HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Go to Marketplace 5 and you'll see Paul's image. Well, there's always something going on residential, commercial-wise. What is your opinion about the health of the real estate market right now in Hampton Roads?
Our market has always been rather steady. We experienced, of course, the bubble, as did everyone else. And what we see is constant traffic in the affordable price ranges from $350,000 down. The upscale properties, we're finding a lot of very smart buyers are stepping in and buying those more expensive homes because they have that portion of the market has not as yet recovered. Let me correct something. My website is FuquaHomesales.com. FuquaHomesales.com, not Fuqua Sells Homes.
Right, but you can see it there on Hampton. That's what. See, Paul, that's exactly why I've got a HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com, because your image is there 24/7. You click it, no typing, googling, or searching.
Right. Well, please go there, and if you want to buy a house or you want to sell yours, give us a shot. I have a business partner, Rick West, so that you're basically getting two very, very experienced agents for the price of one.
We're going to talk about your sports background in just a second. Paul's also been an assistant college basketball coach as well at American University. Paul, talk about as far as real estate today, right now, what should a first-time buyer be looking for?
The first-time buyer should first and most importantly create a relationship with a loan officer and a financial institution represented by that loan officer who can give him very good advice, him or her very good advice on what kind of product they can place to finance the home and know what their true price range is. That's the first step. There's no sense going out and looking at houses and drooling over this house or that house without knowing that you have in your back pocket a letter from a financial institution that says you can buy this house.
Mm-hmm. And of course, there's all types of homes, and as far as businesses that are always attractive, and sometimes it's the neighborhood that's so important today.
Yeah, well, most people, in fact, 99.9% of the buyers buy the neighborhood first. This is where I want to live. Then they find the house within that neighborhood.
Sure.
And the wise people will not buy the most expensive house in a neighborhood. They'll buy one that's within the median range. Sometimes they'll buy the smallest house in a more expensive neighborhood, because your property values, your appreciation of your property is directly linked to the success of the neighborhood and its continuing appreciation.
Let's talk about your sports background a little bit. You of course, you had a background at Georgetown University and American University, both. Talk about it.
I was very lucky. I set a goal for myself to at some time have my own high school program, and part of that, one of the prerequisites for that was to have college experience. I started out coaching little kids and had some degree of success, and then middle schoolers, and had some significant success, not because I was a great coach, but because I had great players. Then had an opportunity at a high school to come in as an assistant and run a freshman program, and that was in a very competitive Washington, D.C. area league, the WCAC, which features DeMatha, which is nationally recognized, and I was at Gonzaga. And then I went to gain college experience because I was not a player. I was a basketball junkie, and I rode the pines through my high school career. And I got the opportunity to spend 2 years at American University under head coach Eddie Tapscott, who's now very instrumental in the rise of the Wizards. And then I got my first high school job at Mackin Catholic High School, which produced Johnny Dawkins and a host of other great players. That school closed after 3 years. I then moved on to the University of District of Columbia under a great coach, George Leftwich. He needed someone who could organize his practices and had that kind of teaching background, which I had. And then I was appointed the head coach at Harker Prep. And the goal there was to create a nationally ranked program, which we did in fairly short order. And then I found my personal life was such that I had to move away from coaching. I was actually succeeded there by Stu Vetter, who had achieved some notoriety at Flint Hill and, of course, produced the likes of Dennis Scott and Durant, Kevin Durant at Montrose Christian. And then I came down here and moved into the Hampton Roads area and started a second family, and have enjoyed living in this area and succeeding here.
Sure. Let me ask you this, too. Your thoughts just on the NBA. You look at LeBron, what he's done with a makeshift team that wasn't even his team at the beginning of the year. He's getting players like, who didn't do well at other teams to play well, but it's always he is willing this team to win, and they just swept a very good Atlanta team. Yes, there's a lot of injuries, but everybody's got injuries this time of the year, and they'll probably be taking on Golden State if they can close out Houston.
Well, LeBron is a legend from the standpoint that not only is he physically imposing, he has a will to win, he's very gifted, but his greatest talent, I think, is that he helps his teammates play better.
Sure, I agree.
He's unselfish. And the great players always elevate their teammates' games. Look at Bird, look at Michael, look at Bill Russell. An exception to that, in part, was Wilt Chamberlain. But the legends in this game always were able to be successful by elevating the play of their teammates. That's what you look for in a player.
You hit on the nose, the anticipation, the unselfish, the scoring if he has to, the inside the paint, whatever, he gets it done. Well, go ahead and tell people how they can get a hold of you. You're part of the Rosenwomble team, correct?
Rosenwomble, centrally located to the south side of Hampton Roads in the Greenbrier. You can please feel free to call me on my cell, 757-449-7463. That's 757-449-7463. Or you can text me at that number, or you can go to FuquaHomeSales.com, or you can PS Fuqua at AOL.com. I'm a throwback. I like AOL. I've been with it since it started, and I've never changed. PS Fuqua at AOL.com.
And, of course, you can always Google your name as well and find it.
You always Google my name. I don't know what'll come up. But generally, direct links are far simpler, and you can find me on Rosenwomble and just about anywhere.
And, of course, you can see them on Hampton Roads, OnlineMall.com, Marketplace 5. Just click the nice green image. Paul, the best to you and your son.
Appreciate it.
Give a plug to your son's baseball team.
Well, Indian River has had a middling season. They were very young. They just were eliminated in the conference playoffs. And he's now looking forward to his showcase, which will be pitching at Wake Forest this weekend, and see what happens there. But he looks forward to his senior year next year and working very hard to achieve not only a conference playoff spot again, but make it his way to the States.
Paul, enjoy the nice sunny weather, and thanks for some of your time this afternoon.
Always a pleasure to talk to you.
You too, Paul. Thank you. Paul Fuqua right there has a great sense of humor, and so much in broadcasting, Ken, you have to have a sense of humor.
Yeah, broadcasting and real estate.
Exactly. And of course,
when you come across that house with that custom Elvis wood paneling, and you have to sell that one, you better have a sense of humor.
And, of course, we got What Teased Me Off, and you always need a sense of humor for 20 hours a week around here, too, as well.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. All right, that was Paul Fuqua. Hope you enjoyed Maggie Tyler, a softball pitcher for Virginia Tech. We were just rolling on here. Sports Scene every Wednesday, 12 to 1, right here on the radio, 1650 AM. TuneIn.com. Type in WHKT on your phone or your computer to subscribe. Listen for free. Stay tuned. We'll be back after these messages.
Discover what the locals already know. Quality comfort food and a pleasant atmosphere at the Hilton Tavern in Newport News. Open daily for lunch and dinner. They showcase the best burgers in town. Philly steak sandwich, crab cake, wing, pulled pork barbecue, brisket, salads, and much, much more. They handle catering, banquets, and special events. Hilton Tavern is on Facebook. Call 599-9888 and visit them at 10184 Warwick Boulevard in the Hilton section of Newport News.
For over 25 years, people have counted on one name for all their residential and commercial moving needs. A friendly and affordable mover. No job is too big or too small, and they will assist you with your best interest in mind. Always providing free estimates, a friendly and affordable mover is a company you can count on. Have peace of mind on your next move with a friendly and affordable mover. Call 689-0935 or log on to lovemymover.com.
When it comes to automobile service in Hampton Roads, Fink's Car Care is the destination locals have counted on for decades. Family owned and operated, they specialize in transmission service, oil changes, state inspection, radiator service, tires, alignments, and showcase Win automotive products. Fink's does it all. Military and senior discounts are available. Find them on Facebook and visit them on South Military Highway in Chesapeake and Victory Boulevard in Portsmouth, Monday through Saturday. For more, log on to finkscarcare.com and call 545-3573 today.
Mark your calendar for May 28th to May 31st. The Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church in Newport News presents the Newport News Greek Festival. Enjoy Greek food, desserts, beverages, dancing, entertainment, arts and crafts, and much more. This is the signature event of the year in Hampton Roads. The Greek Festival is located at 60 Traverse Road off exit 258B on Route 17 in Newport News. For more, log on to newportnewsgreekfestival.org.
The place to go for U.S. rare coins is Newcastle Coins and Collectibles in Chesapeake. They specialize in U.S. and silver and gold coins and provide free verbal offers and are always buying U.S. rare coins. Newcastle Coins and Collectibles, 681 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake, across from Chesapeake General, open Tuesday through Saturday and always online at newcastlecollectibles.com. Call 757-609-3633, 757-609-3633 for Newcastle Coins and Collectibles. Now back to Greg Bicouvaris and Sports Scene in the Hampton Roads Online Mall.com studio.
I still love my fan here in the studio, Ken, even with the air condition.
Well, nothing wrong with a little breeze.
I love
we do
the
need
fan.
air.
Exactly. All right, hope you enjoyed Maggie Tyler. What a beautiful young girl she is, the rising senior for Virginia Tech softball team. Really just eloquent young lady. Also, of course, we talked to Paul Fuqua about his real estate business, also that he was an assistant basketball coach, mixing a little real estate and sports. Of course, it all goes hand in hand. And, of course, I want to give a shout-out to all the people in Houston. Sorry for what you're going through. Hopefully this will end very soon, Ken, with that rain, and flooding. Unbelievable.
Yeah, well, we've seen obscene weather here, so our hearts go out to those folks in Texas, and we feel your pain.
Well, some sweet stuff going on is theroyalchocolate.com, and, of course, a regular every month is Brenda Tusing. Brenda, how was your vacation, first of all?
My vacation was absolutely fabulous. We had a wonderful time out west. Went to my brother's wedding, and he featured the royal chocolates at his table, so that was really fun. But yeah, it was a great time, and now I'm back.
You know, we talk to you in the radio every month. We talked in early April, but it's been, even though it's a month later, it's been a withdrawal because we haven't talked to you in almost over a month here.
I'm back, so you should feel better now.
We do, absolutely. Well, let's talk about the Royal Chocolate right there in Virginia Beach. Where is it located?
We are at 164 Central Park Avenue in the Virginia Beach Town Center, not too far from where the fountain is, across the street and down slightly towards Columbus. Been there all 8 years now. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is the Town Center doing a lot to evolve for the summer as far as activities in the fountain?
Yeah, Greg, and that's something I certainly wanted to point out. I went to a Town Center meeting yesterday, and they have started nighttime concerts at the fountain. The great thing about Town Center, and I don't know if people realize this or not, all of these events are free and open to the public. There's free parking everywhere, and it's a really nice, safe, friendly family environment. But 7 nights a week, starting in June, they're going to be doing concerts at the fountain. Monday night is going to be Military Monday, so there will be sort of military-themed music and bands. Every Monday we will do Military Monday and offer a 10% discount to all of our military in uniform or with ID. So that's a great kickoff. Why not? Wednesday starts next week. Again, free, open to the public, right outside of the Sandler Center. Great bands, and it's just, truthfully, it's amazing to me what Town Center offers to the public.
Right, because you're right there in the heart of Town Center. We're talking to Brenda, and of course, as Town Center evolves, so does the Royal Chocolate and every business there.
Absolutely. It's a huge benefit to us. Not only that, it's just fun. It's a great working environment for us and for our staff. People around just having a good time in the summer. Kids, moms, dads, grandparents, a little bit of everybody. So it's really a great environment. I hope everybody really takes advantage of what we have right here in Town Center this summer.
Well, you're very involved in Facebook and Twitter and Instagram.
Sure.
What's going on at the Royal Chocolate?
Well, we have an event coming up June 4th. It's the first time we've tried this. It's a painting and chocolate event. It's one of those things where you come in and you have all of your supplies taken care of, your easel, your paint. You have a professional person walking your way through painting a scene. And I am a person who cannot draw a stick figure and have it be recognizable. So I am really interested in how this plays out. But it's going to be a lot of fun. It is posted on our website, theroyalchocolate.com. We have a special on Facebook, $5 discount. That's on our Facebook page, so check that out. But yeah, it's going to be on the 4th, and you have to sign up through Eventbrite, Chocolate Colors and Chocolate. And you get a $5 discount if you use the code chocolate. So that starts the 4th.
And a lot of tourists are in town now driving through here, so we want to say hello to the tourists. They can stop by theroyalchocolate.com. Give us your hours.
We are open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., and every Sunday we're open 12 to 5. And, hey, let's not forget Father's Day.
Sure.
June 21st.
We'll probably talk to you before then as well.
Okay.
So, very good. 557-6925 is the phone number. Go by and see Brenda, Terry, and the great staff, and have a wonderful rest of the Wednesday there, Brenda.
Thank you so much. Stay sweet.
You too. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, very good. Ken, let's get right to what teased me off.
What Tees You Off? Presented by GJBTV.com.
Ken, in this computer age that we live in, and we want to thank Brenda as well, Brenda Tusing from the Royal Chocolate, bills that take 4 days to be adjusted.
Or anything that needs more than 2 seconds to be fixed. Come on, seriously?
Former radio hosts writing blogs because nobody will hire them today.
Well, sometimes the urge to communicate, speak an opinion, it just overwhelms you. You just have to get it out there somewhere.
Yeah, the print doesn't work. Long social events this time of the year, Ken.
Oh, no, make it short and sweet. Come on, in and out, we're done.
20 hours of nonsense a week.
It's amazing. It's just amazing how some things can just go on and on and on.
Yeah, I know. Ken, the whole thing about craft beer is really, folks, give me a glass of wine, I'm fine. What is it with craft beers, Ken?
I can't tell much of a difference.
I know.
Well, when I could drink them, I couldn't tell much of a difference between any of them anyway. They all kind of tasted like wet bread.
Ken, you'll like this one. Computers that have to be rebooted.
Well, we kind of know something about that around here, don't we?
Exactly. Working more than 8 hours a day, tough, but we all have to do it. Having to go to the restroom during a movie, unless you're with bad company.
Oh, yeah.
If you're bad company, you don't mind going to the restroom.
Yeah, exactly. But, boy, if you really got to go, and it's the exciting part of the movie.
Right.
Oh.
It's horrible. Businesses that say everybody knows us. Really? Everybody knows you. Okay. Speaking of movies, any movie with Will Smith or a Wahlberg in it. Not my favorite.
Will Smith, not so much. I think if the script is right, he's okay, but Wahlberg does a good job.
Yeah, so. Long lines anywhere. Businesses that have a computer greeting, non-personal, you're a business, have a voice greeting. People that talk with their mouths full. People that walk too close to the street with cars. It's summertime. As Ken just did his PSA Memorial Day, there were a lot of fatalities. Please be careful. And, of course, phony radio stations and hosts. But anyway, hope you enjoyed Sports Scene, of course, every Wednesday, 12 to 1. Maggie Tyler, Paul Fuqua, Brenda Tusing, excellent guests. For more, go to gjbtv.com. Hit the YouTube link as well to listen to archive shows. We'll be back next Wednesday on 1650 a.m. TuneIn.com. Type in WHKT to listen on your phone or your computer. Powered by Hampton Roads OnlineMall.com. For Ken Johnson, I'm Greg Bicouvaris. See you at the Newport News Greek Festival tomorrow, and we'll talk to you soon.